lately. Well, that's what happens. It turns green. That's how I know. You're an extra level supporter.
They got them cool emojis too. We can't see them with our
we
software.
Can't see the emojis?
But you've got the Block FS logo. You've got
that is actually cool.
The logo. You've got the women's sports logo, and then the gator with the spear through it, which is actually pretty apropos today.
Apropos indeed. How about that, everybody? Woo! Man, did that feel good.
Stick 'em in your mouth and suck 'em.
Holy moly. It was cool. It was cool. Florida State ends up with the walk-off, get you some grand slam to complete the cycle for Mr. Lois, who is having himself a season. Sometimes it's one of those cases where the baseball gods or whatever sports gods it is that we reference understand what the right thing is. And they step in, they intervene, and they go, this would be an injustice. Florida State has thoroughly outplayed Florida tonight in every inning. We're not going to do this. This will not stand, man. Fine, you can have your cute little moment in the top of the ninth in which you believe you're going to win. But we are going to yank the rug out from under you because you do not deserve this win. You have not been the better team. And so it is that you get a leadoff walk and you get the bases loaded and a whole lot of pow. That is a massive dong in a big situation.
Stick 'em in your mouth and suck 'em.
So that's cool, Brad, that you, I guess, looked it up. I took a cursory glance last night before heading for bed with the Google. I did the Google, and I looked to see, okay, well, how many times has this happened? It's one of the great things about baseball. It does provide, Tim Kirchin brings this up all the time, and he's right, and it's almost cute the way he brings it up because he's like a little kid. But he says about the great sport of baseball is at least once a week during the baseball season, you'll see something that you've never, ever, ever seen before. Like you could be 80 years old and have been watching baseball for 74 years and be like, that's never happened. In my life, I've never seen that happen.
Not since 1897.
Right.
With oil can whiskey drinking Bill Smith.
Yeah.
Has that feat ever happened before?
So it's the best when that happens. And I did. I thought about it. I thought about it last night. When he hit the grand slam, do you get, I think you do, we all do. Baseball lends itself to this because I think you have time to ruminate. Oddly, when the situation, once it was tied and the bases were still loaded, I actually kind of thought he might hit a grand slam. Let me tell you why. It's not some sort of like, well, how would you? No, he's got to throw a strike. He can't walk you or the game is over. He's going to throw the ball in the zone. You're going to get a good pitch to hit.
And a fly ball means the game is over. So you're just trying to elevate the ball. All of those things are conspiring.
Yeah, yes. I really did think in that moment, it lends itself to a grand slam here. He's going to groove a fastball because he's walking the world. And you'd much rather have somebody beat you by, putting the ball in play. So as soon as he does groove it, and Lois does with it what one should. But it's just cool that, a lot of times that's just a deep fly ball for the win, a sac fly, walk off. A lot of times that's that's just a line double in the alley, and, the center fielder kind of trots 2 feet and is like, I can't get to that. That's your ball game. And they watch it bounce against the wall and say dejectedly walk off the field. But this one's better. This one's most assuredly better because it gives you the time to celebrate in their grill as you round the bases and others wait on you to return home to celebrate with them. It's glorious. It's an extra long, get you some of that. How'd you like that? What for moment?
Stick 'em in your mouth and suck 'em.
It's a good win. And I don't say that because, I mean, we'll see what Florida is. Florida's got a lot of lively arms. They always do. These days, in the regular season, Florida tends to be less than stellar. And yet you'll see the pieces. You're like, well, that kid's a stud. He had 20 home runs last year. He's hitting 167 right now for some reason. That kid is whatever he is. That kid's a major league arm.
The dude's got an 11 ERA. Yet he goes 98 with a slider that falls off the table.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. And all those things, that's how Florida is now. And then all of a sudden, next thing you know, they're like, oh, just got into the postseason. Well, here they go. We'll see them in the World Series because they're going to be there. They do it a lot these days. And last year was a great example. So they're 0-6 to start the SEC campaign. Now, I'll grant you, they have faced Tennessee and Georgia. That's a rough road to hoe to start the year, but you'd think they'd win one of them. I mean, they did host both those series. I mean, sweet Jesus. But, okay, bottom line is you lost to that team decisively the first time you played them right here in our own backyard, and you left that field that night feeling a little dejected because you had no answers offensively for their arms. You looked overwhelmed. You looked like a team who had not seen real velocity and got a taste of it and didn't adjust. So it's nice to see that even in that situation, you're still facing good arms, but to see you come back after you threw a game away, basically, with they were pass balls, not wild pitches. They keep calling them pass balls. I mean, wild pitches, but those were pass balls. Catch the ball. Anyhow, so when that happens, and then you give up a lead in which you've held a team to one hit the whole night, it potentially could have left you a little shaken, a little shook, to say the least. So good for them.
Yeah, walks, hit batsmen.
Yeah, dumb stuff.
A couple of misplays, lose a base here or there defensively, especially the Max Williams play, and then the no tag at second base. Like all these things, you're thinking to yourself, at least I am, that this is where baseball rears its head, and Florida with only one hit actually puts a rally together. Because you didn't assert yourself, because beyond the DeLamielleure home run, which was impressive, going Oppo, that's immense power in that ballpark.
I don't know, 2 pitch, buddy. That is doing some things.
Link Jarrett would not have loved that if he was in the other dugout, because he would have told Posey.
Got a little too much of the plate there, did we?
Was that 0-2?
Yeah.
Really? Going Oppo? Like no doubter on an 0-2 pitch?
Yeah.
But because you hadn't, extended that lead, and because, frankly, it got to 3-2 because of a couple of gift runs, you're saying to yourself, oh, no, man, you can't be losing this game on the details, because I really believe the way that Florida took the lead and took command of the game here in Tallahassee was because we were doing much of the same stuff, not taking the extra bag, allowing them to steal. And we got a big caught stealing last night, but the first 5-6 innings, you're like, we're running it back again. They're just going to take second base anytime they want to do it, advancing the extra 90 feet, making the little plays, not walking guys. It felt like a carbon copy when we were out on the field defensively. Offensively, I thought we got a little bit better last night, and obviously it ends up looking a lot better at 8-4, but you just didn't want to lose that way after losing in a resounding fashion. I'd rather lose 6-0 than if that stayed 4-3, I'd rather lose 6-0 than that type of deflating loss. Huge for them psychologically that they got that, especially because you have Abraham. I thought Joe Charles was fantastic last night, but you've got a few guys that you can lean on and say, this is a good bullpen outing for you. Nice confidence for the weekend next time you get the call Friday, Saturday, or Sunday.
Well, you're hitting on a point here that I want to address, because you see in the chat, somebody noted that they're still a little worried about the bullpen. But last night shouldn't have been the reason that you came away with that conclusion. Last night was all bullpen arms, including your starter. Abraham's not your starter. So the guys that you saw pitch last night and hold Florida to one hit over 8 innings were all bullpen arms. And you will be able to use them as such. You won't be asking them to give you 3 innings. You won't be asking them to go out and give you 4 innings. I mean, you're going to have guys who, I think last night my takeaway was, okay, we've got some guys. Remember, Martinez didn't pitch last night. I mean, they've got answers there.
Yeah, no Prescott either. I think you could actually pin a little bit of this on Link last night, because there are a couple of times where you can kind of see the writing on the wall. It's time to go get him. Like, Charles, I think Abraham was a little bit the same way too, but you can kind of tell that, hey, I think they're done. might not want to give them another batter or two, and you let them stay out there and a couple of rallies for them, or at least a couple of jams are where Kinnear has to come in and he walks his first guy with the bases loaded.
Cuts the lead in half, yeah.
He was good too. I mean, he was good too down the stretch. So, yeah, you had a lot of guys that went multiple innings, a second time through the order in some cases. There's a lot to like about that on the mound, except for the control stuff. We got to tighten that up a little bit.
Well, my takeaway is the same takeaway that I had before that game was played last night. It's the same takeaway I've had throughout the season, in which I've noted this. There are a lot of things that I like a lot about this team, and I judge them against a very high and steep curve. Like, to me, this is like we are looking at them as, can you win the whole thing? Can you go back to Omaha? When you judge a team based on that criteria, then you are going to nitpick. You're going to look at a lot of things that, for somebody who sees the gaudy record and the ranking next to the name would say to you, well, geez, man. So they're not the 27 Yankees. Jesus, get it together, Cameron. But no, man, that's not what it's about. There's no question this is a very good team. That's a given. Like, we're operating under the assumption that we all understand this is a very, very good baseball team. Now let's get into the analysis based on, can they win the whole thing and where do they sit in the hierarchy of the best teams in college baseball? That's what you're judging them by. And when you do that, while you still have plenty of things that you like that you would consider to be even within those parameters, plus, you'd say that's still their plus play up the middle on defense at second and short. Lodi's, in addition to hitting .475, is a really good defender. Farrow's played a really good second base. The problem is when I'm talking about up the middle, it's not complete, is it? Because you're terrible at catcher. Defensively, you're not good at catching. And then your center fielder is your center fielder kind of by default. Max is an average-ass center fielder. But he's a deadly bat, and you certainly are happy you have him. But he's not a great center fielder.
He can run it down. That's the best thing that he's got going for him. So he can go flag one down.
Yeah. But it's not even, we've had faster center fielders. He's a good player.
Harrelson's a heck of a corner outfielder,
yes,
isn't he?
Yes, he is. So, you look at that. You say, okay, well, you'll take the trade-off. I mean, I want Max's bat in the lineup at all times. He's got an unbelievable, especially a powerful swing. That flat ball elevates. When he squares it up, he hits it harder than anybody on the team. And then there's, I think you've got an emerging answer out in the left with Delamolier, who's now really getting comfortable. It's been the byproduct of rotation because of injury. So Williams and Upton and not Upton. Who am I thinking of? The other kid, the receiver. Gibson. I'm thinking of Upton.
You're thinking of BJ Upton.
I'm thinking of BJ Upton. Yeah, the Rays. I'm thinking of the Rays. Yeah.
Where's Justin? I liked him.
Yeah. That's true. So anyhow, you've had to rotate a bunch of different guys to figure it out, but luckily you have those bodies, and Delamolier is really coming along nicely.
Wasn't it the Braves who had both Uptons and Jason Hayward, and it was Don the greatest outfield of all time?
I don't recall. It might have been.
Might have been.
I just remember Jason Hayward hit a home run in his first at bat for the Braves when he came up.
He did, and
his
was
parents
were
were there.
Hall of Famer.
But it was cool to see. That was really neat.
Kaz Matsui did the same thing.
Yeah. No, lots of people have.
Hayward's been better than Kaz Matsui. I'm saying a lot of people hit a home run.
Yeah.
Lasto Blasto.
It's still really cool when it happens.
Yes. So is a walk-off cycle grand slam.
That's cooler.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Because you don't see it. You just don't see it. And that's exactly where my head was at last night. I'm like, I know I have never seen that before. I've seen a walk-off home run and have it be the last leg of the cycle. So I can actually remember vividly several of those. Not necessarily at Florida State, just in general.
Yeah.
Where a guy comes up, it's his last at bat. He's already registered the single, double, and a triple. Just needs a home run for the cycle. Hits the home run. It happens to be a walk-off. I've seen that. But for that to be a walk-off grand slam, I've never seen that.
Nolan Arenado, 2016, 2017, I think. That's it in history. In the major leagues. Forever, those two circumstances collide. Grand slam, and then also it serves as a cycle winner for you.
That's really cool. I can still remember when Tatis hit the 2 grand slams in one inning.
Oh, yeah.
And I knew when it happened, that A, it had never happened, and B, it'll never happen again. Now, I should never say that. It hasn't happened again, Tom. You can look it up.
What did Mike Cameron do then? He did something crazy.
4
like
home
that.
runs in a game?
That might have been it.
Yeah. There have been plenty of guys who've hit 4 home runs. I shouldn't say plenty. A number of guys who've hit 4 home runs in a game. I remember when Bob Horner did it for the Braves.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Yeah. Bob Horner did it for the Braves. I've seen some other people do it, but it's it's cool when it happens.
Delgado did something cool too. In order to achieve his 200th career home run, he hit 2 home runs in that game. To achieve his 300th home run, he hit 3 home runs in the game to break that record. Cool. Yeah. But yes, 2 grand slams in an inning.
I've told the story many times that I was in Baltimore when Eddie Murray hit might have been his 498th home run, and he just missed his 499th and 500th in the next 2 at-bats, I think it was. Like, both were to the wall. I was like, damn it, I could have seen it all.
Yeah, when I was at a Montreal Expos Mets game years and years ago, obviously, by the Expos, and Piazza was going to break a bench record, a Johnny Bench record of some kind. He was 1 away, and he hit it off the top of the left center fence. You think, oh, of course it's going to happen because I'm
here. I deserve to see this.
And there are a lot of Knowles fans that were in the baseball grounds last night that felt that way, and they were vindicated. Good job, Knowles. I'm sure you were hearing it from the Gators fans in the stands in the 9th inning as well.
For Lodi to go do it in his hometown, it's so cool. And to watch, again, to see the shook written all over the face of Florida. And, of course, it's always good when you see their ass of a coach have to go out to the mound with that stern look.
And an interesting gait.
And the knowledge that he ruined a life and several others. Yeah, he's hard to like. Florida's got a long history of guys like that in the coaching position.
They sure do. And I'm just talking about the mound walk. You know, there's a phrase back in the day you probably can't use anymore, but it has to do with what's going on with your keister. Like that, I don't know what that is. Like, speed it up. 11 took a long time, but 11 had a little bit of swagger to the walk. He'd usually have his hand in his back pocket as he strolled.
Yeah. Sauntered.
I mean, he's like,
I think he's breaking down. I think the weight of the guilt for his life's decisions are getting to him. Yeah. You can't outrun your conscience if you got one.
I thought I heard somebody last night say, today, get to the mound. Let's go.
So really quickly, I don't believe – now listen, this game was not going to be televised. And this whole situation is insane. It drives me crazy that we have to struggle to try to find and hope and wish and wring our hands that maybe 2 elite programs like this, Florida State and Florida, are matching up, which is, annually a top 20 matchup for sure, top 10 matchup often. And we're just not sure if we can find the game. Don't know if we're ever going to see it. And then when we do see it, it's shot from the space station. So it's just the dumbest thing, and it's aggravating, and it's just for those of us that remember a better day for college baseball, Sunshine Network, it leaves you longing. It leaves you wanting. I don't even blame the Slappy who was doing play-by-play last night. Like, I think he's a Florida guy. I think they asked him to run in the booth real quick and do a call.
Yeah, right.
I don't even think he's a thing. Like, of course it
was the bottom of the 2nd or top of the 3rd that he finally came in there. It's like, it's a 2-2 pitch. Oh, the one thing that we know about these Gators is they've got a lot of potential.
What was he going to do, though? I do think he was put between a rock and a hard place. I'm not real sure.
The first guy that go to the bullpen is like, look at these numbers. And I'm like, it says 11.50 ERA.
Yeah, he sucks.
Look at that. 9 strikeouts in 7 innings. Yeah, he's got an 11.50 ERA. Sir, I am looking at these numbers. A lot of potential here on the hill for Florida. Yeah, okay.
If you're looking at the result of storm damage to your roof, Tom, you can go to T-Spark Enterprises, buddy, and get that all fixed up. It's a beautiful thing. Not only that, they will come in and assess all the other damage. They can do all the things, not just roofs, but walls and the whole, the kit and caboodle. They can do a build-out, a remodeling, an addition. Everything you could possibly need at T-Spark. Go to tsparkenterprises.com. That is T-Spark. Of course, we tell you about them most days, but it seemed like it was fun to do today. tsparkconstruction.com. I said enterprises. tsparkconstruction.com. Get it together, Cameron. License number CGC 1525336, CCC 1331204.
All right, about that time to upgrade my iPad and...
Oh, it's so great being back in the Oval Office looking out over the White House lawn. Speaking of lawns, I got to tell you about the Lawn Johns. They're the best. Anything from basic lawn care like mowing, edging, weed eating, and they can do even a full landscape design. Believe me, it's incredible. In fact, Elon and I have big plans, and we're going to grow grass on the moon, and guess who's going to be doing the lawn up there? Yeah, you got it. The Lawn Johns. Call them right now, or for a free estimate, you can visit them online at thelawnjohns.com.
Your body is a masterpiece designed to heal itself from within. Learn how to maximize your health by tuning in to Phenomenal Health with me, Dr. Ryan Finn. Saturdays at 2:30. Experience true health today and call Finn Chiropractic at 386-7700.
Like most of us, your home is your greatest investment. I mean, think about it. The financial benefits, the newfound freedoms of purchasing a home can contribute to your family's health and wealth and happiness. Well, with real estate trends pointing to a favorable market for buyers, this is the time to be sure of what you're buying or selling. And that is exactly why Joel Hagen's built ACL Home Inspections, providing you thorough, precise, and efficient service with same-day, easy-to-read digital reports. They'll even go with you on a walkthrough inspection of the home you want to buy. If you're planning to list your house before putting it up for sale, ACL will provide you a pre-listing inspection. Call today, 850-312-8919, 312-8919. Remember, before you buy or sell, call ACL.
Florida man, what's wrong this time?
Well, it's my alligator Hank again. It's so dang cold, he's been digging all these holes in my backyard trying to find some heat to keep himself warm. But he doesn't want to come out to eat, so I have to yank him by his tail. Now my back is killing me again.
Poor Hank. I'm really sorry about your back pain.
You have any idea how hard it is to pull an alligator out of his heat hole when it's colder than a polar bear's toenails outside? Not to mention the added weight of the gold chain I bought Hank last year for his birthday.
Well, it's time to get you back in to see the doctors at Finn Chiropractic. You can book your appointment online, so there's no waiting in the cold.
You're right again. Look out, Dr. Finn. I'm coming in hot.
At Finn Chiropractic, they'll get to the root of your pain and deliver the solutions. Book your appointment online at finnchiro.com, and you'll even get an online discount. Visit finnchiro.com today and find your path to a pain-free tomorrow.
Science-backed, technology-tracked, and coach-led. Hey, Jeff Cameron here. You've heard me rave about the benefits of Orange Theory Fitness and the proven track record of science-backed interval training. Well, now Orange Theory Fitness has done it again, adding more ways for you to improve your health and look your best. In addition to the always great standard workouts, OTF has added Tread 50 and Strength 50 for those in the mood to just lift for an afternoon or attack those cardio goals for the day. Take the guesswork out of exercise. Make sure you're getting the most out of each and every workout. Orange Theory Fitness, location Midtown Tallahassee and Village Square Boulevard.
The Jeff Cameron Show is a production of the Warchant.com Multimedia Network. Check out Warchant.com today for the latest news inside Florida State athletics. That's Warchant.com. Now, back to Jeff on Real Talk 93.3.
You know, it was cool. I'm sure you saw the interview by now, but Lois noting that he knew it was gone the second it left his bat. And for the record, you'll hear me mention this several times today, but I'm going to keep bringing it up. He's now got over 100 at-bats. He's hitting .475. He's got a .522 on-base percentage. He's slugging at .842. He's got an OPS of over 1,300.
I really think that the 475 batting average, old school stat as it might be, is the most impressive.
Yeah, to be hitting nearly 500 with over 101 at bats is insane.
475.
Yeah.
That's something you would see in your high school St. Pete Times readout. You're like, well, I mean, he's going to be a second round pick. He's
dominant.
I mean, that's what a local kid does in high school.
Yeah, it's funny too about baseball. You're right. You're really good baseball players that get drafted straight out of high school or have a full ride. Like I was listening to an interview Alex Bregman gave. He went to LSU and he was recruited. His recruiting visit to LSU was when he was a sophomore in high school. And it occurred to me, the guys that are really good at baseball just beat the bejesus out of everybody who plays baseball, their contemporaries, right? You ever notice that? It's not that way in football. Like in football, you might have a running back who rushes for 200 a game. He's a stud, whatever it might be. But I mean, it's kind of, you don't see somebody where you're just like, well, they're playing one game and he's playing an entirely different game. But in baseball, a guy who's really good at the dish hits 580 in high school.
Right.
He'll hit 582 with 27 bombs. You're like, well, Jesus, man.
Yeah, the football equivalent would be running back rushing for 400 a game.
Like,
right.
What
the hell?
Every now and then you're like, well, where does he play? Is he in the middle of nowhere, Iowa? Is this a 7-on-7 league? Are there way too many white guys out here? What is going on? Like, it's always where you raise an eyebrow. But that's not in baseball. You're like, whoa, how about that?
Our old pal Lee Gordon used to tell stories about covering games out there. It was the Dakotas, I think.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
But they would line up the cars along the side of the field and turn all the headlights on so they had enough lights to play 7-on-7. It's crazy. It's a different world.
Too cold to be playing football in the Dakotas unless you're indoors. I got recruited to a small school in Minneapolis or just outside of Minneapolis. And I was like, I was kind of caught up in the allure of going somewhere as mysterious as Minnesota for a Florida kid, right?
Basketball.
And I was thinking to myself, well, it'd be kind of cool to go that far away from home. And then I read the coach sent me a letter, and then there was this other thing, and it kind of just listed what they had to offer. And as you leafed through everything, it showed the stadium outdoors, uncovered. I went, well, we're not going there. That's the end of that.
Is that AstroTurf as well?
What are we doing out here? It's Minnesota. What? Why are we playing outside?
6 degrees and you're putting me on concrete?
No, we're not doing that. I think you guys in the chat can correct me, but look up Augsburg. I think that school is called Augsburg. I believe that. It's been a long, long time. I'm an old man, but I think that's what the name of that school was.
Very good.
Well, am I right?
Yes. Minneapolis, Minnesota, Augsburg University.
Augsburg
College.
They wanted your boy bad, buddy, at Augsburg.
Let me see what their athletics are. Do you remember what the mascot was?
I have no idea. I did good to remember that it was Augsburg. I would never have. I hadn't thought about it since the day I got the letter.
Come on, a-holes. I mean, there's a bird. It looks like it's probably an eagle, but they don't say the name of it.
Do they even play football anymore?
They do.
No, okay.
Let me see what their schedule was last year.
I'm sure it was impressive.
It's actually a better website than Florida State's. I'll tell you.
We don't run a great website over at Florida State, buddy.
Well, the content might be fine, but that thing it takes time to think. So they played. Oh my. Their first 3 games were against Valley City State.
Tough game.
Martin Luther College.
Mm-hmm.
Which is just kind of Martin Luther College.
Yeah.
And Gustavus Adolphus College.
Yeah.
First 3 games.
That was the caliber of school that was reaching out at that time, buddy.
And Gustavus Adolphus got him 28-0.
Well, they're notoriously tough.
They play St. Olaf as well.
They run the ball well timed. They keep it from you. You can get away from you in a hurry. It can get away from you in a hurry. I do want to point out just one more thing on Low D's, who we're not celebrating enough. I mean, I know we're all celebrating the Grand Slam and the walk-off, and it's cool to beat the Gators. It's always cool to beat the Gators. But as we sit here today, I mean, it's not crazy to think my man, if he keeps on keeping on, and it's hard to believe he's going to somehow maintain this kind of a pace. He can't. He cannot. But he'll win the Golden Spikes if he does. And we liked Alex Lodis coming into the season. I talked about the kind of, word out of camp was that he was really good and that he was going to take a big step forward, and that's why I brought it up. And I remember when I talked to Link and even when I talked to Micah on and off the record, they both mentioned him. They both said, I think Alex is going to have a good year. But there's just no way they would have thought that my man would be out here, doing J.D. Drew type stuff. It's just silly.
He's second nationally behind a kid from Central Connecticut State in
who we don't count
in average. I'm looking up his OBP. But there's one kid from Georgia, Rylan Zaborowski. I've not watched them play.
Oh,
that kid's numbers are unbelievable.
Well, and yes, Georgia's team, who dropped 15 and 17 respectively on Florida in their 3-game sweep, can mash.
So his on base is 522 is Lodis. Zaborowski's at 588.
Yeah, he's in the lead.
Good Lord.
Well, Zaborowski out here getting it. But I will also point out, as they get set to go to South Bend, that for the nitpicking I do because of the very high bar I have and what I'd like to see. I mean, listen, we were so close a year ago. I mean, that close. I really believe if you hold on, we all focus on that check swing against Tennessee. But the truth is we let that thing spiral. There were lots of ways it arrived at that point. And yeah, they should have called that strike 3, and they didn't. But the bottom line is, if you don't have that moment where you let it slip away and you win that game, there's no guarantee you're going to win the World Series, but you have a very good chance to win the College World Series. I mean, I think you'd be the odds-on favorite in that moment.
With that lineup and slotting the pitching the way
you probably are going to win the College World Series. And it hurts to talk about because we never have. And we were that close. And it almost didn't seem real. In many ways, I hope everybody enjoyed our run to Omaha a year ago and that everybody enjoyed our success in Omaha a year ago, being one of the last 4 standing. I hope everybody did, because from here, it will never be that enjoyable again. From here, it will never be that enjoyable again because you got a taste. You saw how close. You were right there knocking on the door. And once that happens, the bar is so high, the only thing left to do is win it.
It's that discovery thing, like when Jameis was great. That process of discovery.
It's unbelievable. It's a great moment.
You can't duplicate it.
Well, you were at the Corner Pocket Bar and Grill, where we'll be tomorrow at 4:00 to watch the start of Major League Baseball, and you were watching with Bill and other people, both Bills and other people, and you guys all looked at each other and were like, oh, this is what we got. And I saw it from the stands, and the people around me. I've brought this up many times. The Pitt Panthers fans who were like, well, what is this? You've got an NFL starting quarterback for your guy as a freshman. What is this? And there are people who are that kind of elite, that kind of transcendent, where as soon as you see it, and you're able to kind of wipe your eyes and you're a fan. So you go, well, I'm really biased. Am I looking at this objectively? I am. He's the best player in the country. Okay. Cool. We got the best player in the country.
It got fun. It was already fun, but it got really, really fun in the second and third quarters when we found ways to be in 3rd and 9s and 12s and 21s and 17s because the game's already over. And so you're thinking to yourself watching that game, how is he going to do it this time? Because he's just a 3rd down converting machine. Does not matter. And he consistently did. Really quick on the Zaborowski kid. I guess he's going to be the number 1 overall pick, at least as a position player, if he's eligible. His slugging percentage, this is not his ops. His slugging percentage is 1120. I didn't know that was possible. He's slugging 1120. His ops.
What are his ops?
His ops is 1720.
All right.
So Lodis has, it's somebody to aspire to. It's somebody to chase down.
Yeah, somebody to try to hawk down, because goodness gracious. That is incredible. Shannon Young has made the move to be part of the nation's largest mortgage company. He is with Cross Country Mortgage. It's good news for you. Better rates, better options, stronger support, faster response. 7 states. He's now serving Florida, Georgia, Bama, Tennessee, Texas, and the Carolinas. And while those things are kind of new, I will say what's not new is his 20-plus years of experience, relentless goal-oriented attitude, energy, and passion. He's great at his job, unwavering commitment to helping you, his fellow Noles, get the best loan options to buy your new home. Learn more? Go see my friend. Loansfornoles.com. It's loansfornoles.com.
Your local news now.
State lawmakers are on track to repeal gun laws passed from the 2018 shooting at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School. The House is expected to vote on lowering the age to buy a gun to 18 this afternoon, making one of the first bills sent to the Senate. Governor DeSantis said he supports lowering the gun buying age. Another bill allowing gun sales during a state of emergency is also ready for a vote in the House. In Tallahassee, state lawmakers are reviewing a transportation bill that would increase the maximum speed on certain highways from 70 to 75 miles an hour. Several other states proposed speed limit increases last year. The state of Florida tried to pass a similar bill in 2014, but the bill was vetoed by then Governor Rick Scott, following pushback from law enforcement. This is Rachel Anay with Real Talk 93.3 Local News Update, brought to you by Macklemore Systems, Tallahassee's go-to Mac store. Check them out online at MacklemoreSystems.com.
This is meteorologist Paul Trombley with your Real Talk 93.3 weather update. Ample sunshine expected this afternoon with daytime highs approaching 83. North winds 8 to 15 miles per hour. Lows dip down to about 51 tonight. 82 tomorrow, mainly clear skies. A blend of clouds and sun Friday with highs around 82. 78, slight chance for showers Saturday. This report is brought to you by the Lawn Johns. For all your landscaping and lawn care needs, visit thelawnjohns.com. Currently, it's 77 degrees.
Hey, no fans, our partner ISF Inc. is a national management and IT consulting firm located right here in Tallahassee, Florida, solving the future for state governments through strategy, process, and technology. As a trusted advisor for state governments, ISF knows the importance of defining a clear and detailed strategy. Our friends at ISF can help your organization create a strategy that sets you on a path to success. ISF, your vision plus our expertise brings your brilliant ideas to life. Visit ISF.com to learn more. ISF, solving the future. There he is. Haven't seen this guy since, what was it? Oh, shoot. U2 at the Sphere in Las Vegas, baby.
Hey, how about that, man? Wasn't that fun?
Good show. Good show. Everything about it. Nearly perfect. Nearly perfect.
I had everything I could possibly want.
I wanted one thing, couldn't find it, and I looked everywhere. No Cubans.
What do you mean?
Cubans.
There was Cubans.
No, I didn't see any Cubans.
Dude, I'm sure there was Cubans there. I mean,
No. I walked around. There was a moment right before the show. I thought, got to find some Cubans. Nothing.
Dude, there's Cubans. There was Cubans. I'm sure there was Cubans.
In Las Vegas?
In Las Vegas.
No Cubans in Vegas.
There's Cubans in Vegas, man.
Eddie, there were no Cubans.
Chef.
The sandwich. There were no Cuban sandwiches. You're Cuban. Of course I know there were Cubans there.
Oh, the sandwich. Yeah, no, there probably wasn't many there in Vegas.
No Cubans.
No, not yet.
Gordo's, bringing the flavor and flair of Cuban food to Tallahassee since 1996.
The Jeff Cameron Show is a production of the Warchant.com Multimedia Network. Check out Warchant.com today for the latest news inside Florida State athletics. That's Warchant.com. Now, back to Jeff on Real Talk 93.3.
I was certain I had more time. I was certain I had more time, and I didn't. I heard the yell. Get in here, damn it.
I mean, I could give people updates on the hockey standings with between 10 to 12 games to go. I could.
I have often mentioned them in the past, but there is a special going on right now. Really quick before I forget to do it. They've been great to us, and they've been loyal sponsors on the show. Tom beat me. Well, I was getting the rundown. I wanted to make sure I did the right thing by them. Pitch Penny Pools and Spas. And I talk about them all the time, and we always see the floating otter, who looks like the happiest creature on the planet.
If I could come back as any creature, it would be that one right there.
Floating. They don't ever worry that they're going to get eaten. I'd be constantly worried something was sneaking up from underneath me to eat me. There was going to be some gator or something that was coming.
But it's just they also hold hands with their loved ones.
Yeah,
just the most adorable
they let their
creatures in the
babies
world.
sleep on their chest while they
do.
float.
I know.
That's cool.
Yeah. Have you seen that on the YouTube TV ad?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Oh, man. It caught me off guard. I was like, what is this?
Yeah, this is the cutest thing ever. But anyhow, Pitch Penny Pools and Spas. Real quick, top models of hot spring spas. Now, here's the deal. Here's why I needed to get the information. Their normal price for this top model is $22,000. And you go, God Dog. Not anymore. They got to get this thing out of there. They're moving it for 13-8. Let that siren go off in your head and race on over there while supplies last to Pitch Pitty Pools and Spas. If you're ready to relax, they'll show you how, and they're off of Greer Road. That showroom is ridiculous. It's impressive. I mean, even if you don't go buy a spa, just go look at it.
It makes for a good 2 for day because there's another store that we very much like in the neighborhood.
It's all right there. It's all right there.
Go to the spa to see how you can unwind from going to that other store for another great hobby.
We can give a little love to Edwin Watts, who you're referring to, because they're going to help out with our golf tournament.
That is correct. They are.
So yes. I don't mind doing it. And I like that. I like the fact that this thing is, hey, if you want to play, no joke, Tom, flash it up there for everybody. The tournament is April the 17th.
Yeah, it's getting tight.
I mean, we got it. We're running out of room here. If you're one of the folks that were kind of like, I'd like to play, I need to get my guys together, whatever. Well, now is the time. eventcreate.com/e/JCS Golf 2025. That's eventcreate.com/e/JCS Golf 2025.
I'm sure it's still pinned to your profile as well.
Yeah. Hey, peeps. That particular one that I pinned. Make sure you get that out there and get it done because you're running out. I mean, seriously, I think by the end of the day, today or tomorrow, it's all filled.
One of the great moments in TV history, The Sopranos, Joey Peeps gets buried and it says, "Here lies Peeps," and on his headstone. And Tony looks at his consigliere and goes,
Peeps?
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 That was a nickname. They're getting it changed. They're getting it changed.
Peeps?
Peeps? Here lies Peeps.
I got to go back and do all of the great series that I've always, all of them. And that's one of them. Bryce is going through it now. The rewatch.
Sopranos?
We all do he's old enough. He's 17. What are we doing? But yeah.
Some heavy stuff.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there are no movies that I keep him from watching, like in terms of violent movies. He's seen Goodfellas. He's seen
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Have you seen The Godfather yet?
No, because that requires a real-time commitment.
It does. Well,
that requires all right, guys, we're going to map out the next 6 hours of our day here and do the right thing.
He is one of the few people on this planet under the age of 25
that can do it.
I think he's got the right internal clock for it.
100% he does. He's already seen several 3-hour plus movies. He just watched Interstellar for the second time.
Nice.
So yeah, he can do that.
Well, after he watches Goodfellas, he should watch. He already has. You're telling me
Mm-hmm.
he should watch The Godfather, and then he can, I think, agree at how superior a movie The Godfather is. It's not even close.
Oh well, The Godfather is one of the best movies of all time. I don't think anybody's arguing that.
A lot will argue. Many will argue that Goodfellas is a better movie.
No.
It's just silly. It's silly talk.
No. Goodfellas is a great movie, but it's not The Godfather.
It's a fine movie.
It's a very, very. You got mad at people who put it over The Godfather. Now you unduly diminish the greatness of Goodfellas.
It's a very fine movie.
It's a great movie, but the point is, it's not The Godfather. I'm with you on this. We don't need to argue about this.
So we agree.
I don't know too many people who are movie aficionados who would place Goodfellas over The Godfather. No. It's a great movie. There are several that I love that I have on my all-time list. Like, for example, Heat is one of my favorite movies.
Oh, man.
Heat is one of my favorite movies, but I wouldn't put it ahead of The Godfather.
No, but it's closer than The Goodfellas is.
To you.
Absolutely.
But I think it's the same plane. I put it on the same plane. Yeah. Different movies, but I love them both.
Oh, man. Heat is...
Heat's awesome.
Heat's more of a thinking man's movie than Goodfellas is. Goodfellas is, look at all this stuff that they do.
Yeah, but that's right. He wasn't trying to be that kind of a movie. That's the. By the way, and I will talk about Cam Smith next hour. I want to bring up something really quick. What are the New York Giants doing? We never mentioned that Jameis got signed to the Giants. And I wanted to bring that up because I'm here for the Giants or Jameis Renaissance, right? I'm all set for the Jameis Renaissance in New York. And just as an aside, since it pertains to a former Florida State great.
The Jamesons?
Yeah, the Jamesons. Here's the thing. So he signs that 2-year deal worth $8.8 million, stays in the league, got a chance. Well, what we learned was he's got a chance to compete for the job. It's not his. I thought it was going to be his, but it's not his. Here's the deal. If you're Jameis, and even if you're Russell Wilson, who inexplicably they signed last night,
for up to $20 million.
But really, actually, if you look inside both contracts, the Giants kind of, if you hate this year's draft class at quarterback, and I do, but if you do too, if you're the Giants, you kind of really couldn't miss there. You're housing two former starting quarterbacks, and the combined salary for the two of them for this upcoming year in terms of guaranteed money is minimal. So you've got two guys that have real starting experience on your roster competing for the job. And that way you've got whatever sorry-ass DeVito is over there at third string where he belongs. He shouldn't even be in the league. He's an embarrassment to football. But
I think Baker Mayfield agrees with you.
Yeah. So that dude, who was never a real quarterback, now is relegated as he should be. And all you got to do, if you do want to draft a quarterback, signing those two guys doesn't keep you from drafting a quarterback, and then you just cut Tommy's suck ass. That's all you. I mean, that's all you got to do. And so, and I think that's what they will do. You take a flyer on, say, Shador or something, and then you're like, okay, well, Tommy, we don't need you here. And you can, with a straight face, say, like, if you go into a meeting and you're like, all right, look, we signed Russell Wilson. It's the first game of the season. Shatters his right knee on the first play of the game. Who's our quarterback? Jameis Winston. Okay, same guy. All right. We're good. We'll roll him out there. All right. Jameis Winston gets hurt. Second game of the year. Who's our quarterback? Tommy DeVito. God dog it. All right. New scenario. Second game of the year. We've lost both our starting quarterbacks. We're terribly unlucky. Who's our quarterback? Shador Sanders. Okay. See, it works better that way if you play it out in the boardroom.
It's just there is an absolute skit waiting to happen about Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston fighting over who's going to lead the team in pregame prayer. It's there. It's there, man.
The kind of expressions and phrasing and
I thought it was my week to
pray.
Pray.
Whatever the lesson is.
Brother Russell, I thought it was my week to pray. Now, Jameis, our Lord, came and spoke to me as I walked into the locker room today, just as he did when I walked off the field after Malcolm Butler's interception. When he came down and spoke to me and said, I'm an instrument of his, I'm going to redeem myself. That's what God told me after I threw that interception to Malcolm Butler. And he, again, came down here and said, Jameis, today's not your day. I'm going to lead the team in prayer.
Mm-hmm.
That is going to be Hard Knocks. If they're the Hard Knocks team, that'll be at least one scene.
One other football note very quickly here to mention, it's not NFL related, it's college related. I'm hoping this is gaining steam, as I talked about earlier in the week. Let's hope this happens, or maybe it was late last week when I talked about it. Now that lunatic Mike Gundy is bringing it up, and for once I've agreed with him on something, and this is something he's absolutely right about. Do it. He said, look, man, I want our spring practices and game to be head-to-head with Oklahoma. Let's go. Oklahoma State, Oklahoma spring game. Brilliant. The whole state of Oklahoma will be there. I mean, how great would that be? They discontinued their Bedlam series last year, of course, after Oklahoma rode out and went to the SEC. They had faced each other prior to that 112 straight years. 112. So it is sad, and we have watched this happen across football. Washington State, all these different rivalries. We're like, man, that's not cool. You can't be cutting these rivalries. I've wondered what's going to happen if we go to the SEC and we play a 9-game schedule, and we have Florida already on the schedule, but that would be an SEC game. Like, are we going to keep Miami if they don't come with? Because admittedly, you are at a distinct disadvantage if you continue to play Miami to go along with the rest of your SEC schedule. It's like not ideal. And yet I'd be for it because I'm not going to play Miami.
Well, I mean, if they're still collecting the ACC check, even with the brand initiatives and success initiatives.
Yeah, they'll be outmatched.
But I think we'd be doing all right.
No, but I'm just saying, like, you know what I mean? It's a better game than if you're playing.
Yeah, Wofford. Yeah.
I would want to play that game. I think it's sad that, for example, Oklahoma State and Oklahoma discontinued a series that has been played for 112 straight years. So this is the next best thing. He says, why don't we do it?
Maybe Miami, let's just say it was the SEC was our destination. Maybe Miami would get into the B1G because of their academic profile, a private institution profile, and then that would be your crossover game. I mean, that has to be coming. The SEC B1G in-season cross-conference challenge in football. The networks want it desperately.
So Gundy said about this, look, I've seen where Oklahoma, Nebraska, Texas, Ohio State, and Southern Cal have all said that they're going to cancel their spring games. More coaches have promised to do the same. Obviously, we're not having one here this year. I don't know if it's ever going to come back. But this does seem, and I give Deion Sanders the credit for coming up with the idea, to be very logical. Like, you got a lot of people saying, yeah, we could do it. Auburn and Florida State should play one another in a spring game, right? Wouldn't it be great?
It's 2.5 hours, right?
I would love it. I hope this really catches on. Hour number 2, forthcoming. Stay with Jeff Cameron Show 93.3, Real Talk Radio, and Warchant TV.
Happy hour in the city is at Café de Martín and El Bar. All day, every day, you can find great deals at Café de Martín while enjoying the best outdoor seating Tallahassee has to offer. Sip away on 2-for-1 house wines, chilcanos, and margaritas all day long, Monday through Thursday. Plus 2-for-1 pisco sours and margaritas on Fridays and Saturdays, and 2-for-1 mimosas for Sunday brunch. Come join us at Café de Martín, where every hour is happy hour, in the Esposito Shopping Center on Capitol Circle Northeast.
There's nothing like relaxing in a hot tub after a long day. But if you don't have one, you're truly missing out. Hot tubs and spas have tremendous health benefits, besides just helping you relax. Like improving your sleep, they help with pain relief. They help to better your cardiovascular health, and so much more. And this season is the perfect season to finally buy what you've been wishing for. Pinch a Penny Pool, Patio, and Spas has the hot tubs you need for the price you want. Come shop our huge 12,000 square foot showroom and save today. There's over 50 hot tubs in stock right now, so you won't have to wait weeks on end for that delivery to finally come to town. If you're ready to relax, we're here to show you how. Pinch a Penny Pool, Patios, and Spas. Come visit our huge showroom at 2473 Greer Road with over 50 hot tubs to choose from. You'll be glad you did. When you need the plumber quick, how long is an acceptable time to wait?
Hey guys, we really need you over here. My toddler just flushed a whole bunch of toys down the toilet, and everything, and I mean everything, is backing up.
2 hours?
Hey guys, just checking in. The water has reached the hallway now, and it's getting pretty deep. Can you get here anytime soon?
4 hours?
Hey guys, can you please hurry? Now my wiener dog is doing the backstroke over here, and they're not known to be strong swimmers. Hey honey, grab his life jacket.
8 hours?
Oh, so now you're here.
At M&L Plumbing, you'll never have to wait long for quality, dependable service right when you need it. Our qualified technicians aim to achieve 100% customer satisfaction. And now M&L Plumbing can also be your go-to for all septic tank pump-out services. So the next time you need plumbing work or repairs, think of the name M&L Plumbing. Your local plumbing experts, commercial or residential. Give us a call, 850-575-9393, or online at mnlplumbing.com. M&L Plumbing, for all of your plumbing needs.
There's fun to be had every night at the Corner Pocket. Take home prizes on Trivia Tuesdays and Beer Bingo Thursdays. And kickstart your weekend with Martini Fridays. Plus happy hour runs every weekday and game day specials every time the Noles take the field. Watch all the best games at the Corner Pocket's Vegas Wall, featuring 560 inches of flat screen TV heaven.
Oh, really?
The best food, the best drinks, and the best place to watch all the games. Tallahassee loves the Corner Pocket.
Coming